Hey everyone, I hope you're doing okay. Aja here from Inner Random Talks. Like I said in my previous video, I wanted to share with you a dream that I had a few years ago regarding a child. I'm single. Um, I don't have any child yet, so I just wanted to talk to you about it because I think it's time I share this dream. I think I probably shared it with two people in my surrounding and not completely. Um, and there's a reason for it. Okay, so this is a very, I'm not going to say touchy subject for me, but it's a very, something close to my heart. So hopefully you will resonate with it, and you will be gentle in your comments. I'm not, I have no doubt that the people I'm going to attract on this channel are going to be very divine, gentle people, and because some of the subjects that I share here, I just intuitive subjects. I feel compelled to share them, but those are things that are also private and very, because I talk about my experience, to share the message I need to share. I talk about me. So this is yeah. Let's go back track here. So I had a dream a few years ago, um, that I had a little girl. In the dream, she called me mom. She said, "Okay, I'm gonna come," and she was very bright little girl, very sunny, very laughing all the time. Like I'm doing sometimes, but just and she's like, "Mom, I'm just gonna come, okay? I'm just gonna come." Okay, obviously there was no time frame. It was years ago. I think it's more than 5 years ago. I'm not sure. Really, I cannot pinpoint. I just know that I had that dream. I cannot pinpoint when. It's kind of like blurry in my mind. You will think that I will remember the dates, but I don't. I really don't, and I tried. I don't, and I just know that this dream happened because I had the name in mind, and I just remember that at one point I had that name used in you know um a project that I gave to my students with. I was looking for a name for a persona, and I just if you know marketing, you know what a persona is, but I was looking for a name and I just came blank, and I just said, okay, I'm gonna go with Alana because that was the name of my little girl in my dream, and that was years ago. Okay, so yeah, I had a dream, and she was with me, and she was talking to me. She was like, she wasn't present physically. She was like, I don't know how to explain. In the dream, she was like ethereal. I didn't see a form per se, but I could hear her voice very clearly. I can feel what she was feeling, and it was like the feeling was shaping her. I don't know how to explain it other way. When she talked to me, and I felt more than saw laughter, or her being sassy, or um mischievous, or whatever, and those gave me an idea of how she would physically react. So I didn't see her per se, but she was like, okay, mom, I'm just gonna come, okay, and I'm like, okay, I understand. You just gonna come, I'm just gonna be your mom. And she said, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna come. And she was very, bubbly, like kids go. And and I remember I found myself in a house, in my parents' house, and I think it was at night, or it was, dark in the house, and I was with my mom, and I had Alana with me, and she met my mom. But it was weird. The atmosphere was weird when she met my mom. I don't know. Uh, it was like it wasn't sunny. That part bothers me a bit because I still cannot understand why it was this way. My mom have, if you didn't watch my previous video, has a cognitive disease. I'm suspecting strongly because we made a lot of medical exams and we still not sure. Medical staff still not sure, but it looks like dementia or Alzheimer because she's her memories are completely jumbles and she doesn't remember and she has a hard time talking and yeah, those are the things. My brother has another theory when it comes to my mom's situation. I think he thinks it's occult that someone did that to her, and I'm not saying he's wrong, but the person he thinks that did that is very very close. So um, if that the case, I just okay, it's going to be a complicated family situation. So it's already a complicated family situation, but there's a lot of stuff going on that I don't talk about because I don't know who's gonna find my videos, and I think that's another reason why I'm doing it in English because some of my families don't speak English. But it's tough. It's tough because I want my focus not to be on, you know, demonic stuff or just, occult black magic or whatever. I don't want my focus to be on this. I want my mom to be okay. So in the dream, the way she met Alana was not dark that's not what I'm trying to say here. But it wasn't as sunny. It was like she was in the house, not really physically there, and the light was most of the light was out and we were in the living room of my parents. My mom was there. I wasn't seeing us physically per se, but it was just like it was hush hush, in the evening, when very late and you sit down to talk and stuff like that. And she was meeting a granddaughter that way, and it was weird, in the dream. I mean, you know, it wasn't dark or evil, whatever. It was not like that. But I was expecting when my mom met her granddaughter for the longest time. She always told me, "Oh, you need to just give me a granddaughter," and I'm like, "Oh, you know what? It's just the planet are not aligned. You just don't get a child just to get a child. You just need to be not to think about a child, and there's not someone in my life that I just think is good for this for yet. So yeah, so that was my dream. I'm gonna circle back to that, but I had that dream and I knew I was going to have a little girl, probably my only child. I'm 43 right now, so my sister had her first last year. I think she was 47 when she had her first. And it's been a long road for her because she tried for years with her husband. It was tough, and I didn't even know because we are not that close. I i think I want us to be, but it's so many memories that are left, that are tough as well. So yeah, so we talk, and she was in the medical procedure I was in as well, and for a while she we mentioned that, in passing, and I didn't even know she was pregnant, and because we don't live in the same place, and we don't see each other physically that much, like I said, we're not that close, but we're not hostile or whatever. We just don't speak that much, but when we do, we just came, cover subjects, and we were talking about our pregnancy stuff. And when my medical procedure fell through, we talk about it, and she said, you probably need to go abroad because in France they're just very, again, old school when it comes to those medical procedure and those options that you can have if you are single. And yeah, she I didn't know she was pregnant, and I think she was just keeping it in the hush hush because she had previous experiences, and she wanted to make sure her baby girl was here. Her baby was here because she had a baby girl was here before she announced it. And there's also this occult part that I was talking about in my family. That may be a reason why she kept it hush hush as well. So yeah, she had a baby, and when she sent me the pictures, and she told me, you know what, it can happen if you want it to happen. She told me something very, very nice and very empowering, and I was just like, I was really happy for her, and she said, you know what, just time and just believe, and it can happen. Look at me. And basically that was her message, and I really really appreciate it. And I was just like, okay, you know what, for a while, that was always my belief. My belief was that if you have a child, it's because you are in a relationship that works, where you feel good, you feel supported. And I understand that there's some situation that makes you have a child when you are not in this good space that I'm citing right now. Okay, I'm not judging anyone. I'm not shading anyone. I'm just telling you how the way I felt when it comes to having a child. Okay, don't. I hope no one feels triggered by what I'm saying right now. But the way I saw it is that if I ever have a child, it's because I'm in a relationship where I'm with my partner in crime. You know, the one I want to rob a bank with. Sorry, anyone listening from the government, I'm not planning on robbing anyone. Please get that AI off my back. So yeah, just I just the partner in crime, the person you're laughing with, your best friend became that turned into your lover or your husband or whatever. That's still my goal. I said that was my goal, but that's still my goal. I want that person you connect with so much that you can discuss anything, you can laugh about anything. And that type of partner, that was the partner with whom I wanted to have a child, because having a child to me was not something simple. First of all, because I'm terrified of delivering a child. When I was really young, I was a bookworm. I would read anything I would come across. My mom would just supply me. She was my book dealer. She would supply me with books, and it would just last a few hours. She was like, "What? This was at least 1,000 pages. How do you read that fast?" And I'm like, I need more. Just imagine a teenager, like, holding your hand like a drug addict. Like, I need more. I need my fix. Do you have another book there? That was exactly me. And she was, supplying me books, buying books for me, and she would just catch me on school nights reading up until 1 a.m., 2 a.m. She's like, okay, I I love that you like reading, but this is not what I meant. Just well, I was take my book and put it in my bag, just to go to school and try to read during classes. And she's like, no, 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 no. There's a there's a line that you're crossing right now. That's not what I meant. Okay, that's not what I meant. Because when I started the book, I just wanted to finish it. I couldn't let it go. Now, this would not work in my favor because I came across medical encyclopedia, big medical books with different disease case and stuff like that. And I just didn't have anything to read, I believe, at that time. And I said, well, not, encyclopedia. My mom had those big medical books because initially she was very good at math and stuff like that. I think at one point she imagined herself going to medical school or whatever. But I was never clear about this, but I think she got pregnant with me and got married with my dad. And yeah, at that time, being a secretary was a very good position because she could type very fast, and I imagine she went with it. I heard that my grandfather was really mad about this. I think the relationship between my grandfather, my mom's side, and my father were not that good. I think they just my yeah. I think my granddad was very disappointed because he was seeing my mom going very far, but that's another story for another day. So yeah, encyclopedia. Those medical encyclopedia, where there's no fairy tale. Where when they show you a disease, they show you the worst, the worst side of a disease in Technicolor, meaning there were images. And I come across the image of a woman delivering a child with images in color. And obviously, in a medical encyclopedia, they're not talking about the nice case where the baby is delivered and there's no issues. They're talking about the worst case when everything goes wrong, you know? So I saw that, I think I was 12 or 13, and I just closed the book. And I remember I went to my mom and said, okay, you know what? I'm not having any child. You have my brother, so you're going to, rely on him for your grandchild. There's my sister as well. I know she's not your child directly, but you know what? There's other options than me. Forget about me when it comes to grandchildren. And that's I said that to my mom and very quietly. And she's like, okay. I think she was in the kitchen or something like that. And you have your teenage daughter coming to you saying, I'm not having a child. And she's like, well, okay, where is that coming from? And I'm like, I saw the pictures. Okay, so I'm not doing that. And she started laughing and saying, oh, okay, no, you know what? When you have your own child, it's not like that. You just, and I was looking at her like, what are you trying to pull here? I saw the images. You just cannot, reverse that. I saw it, okay? Don't try to confuse me here because I'm not confused. I know what I saw. And she was like, you know what? What you saw is not representation of the reality. It's worst case scenario. And even in those cases, the medical procedures are in place. They can help, and there's a lot of stuff that are in place. But when you have your child, regardless, I'm not going to say there's no pain, but when you have your child it's all worth it. So don't worry about it at this point. You're not there yet, but it's gonna be okay. I'm like, yeah, that's squinting teenage high. I was looking at it like, I know you're trying to con me, but I'm not the fool here. No. So yeah, keep trying to. No, it's not gonna work. And I move on with that, and I was secure in the fact that yeah, children, no. But then I grew up. And for a long time, it wasn't the fact that I was afraid of delivering a child. It played a part, but the fact that I was just, it was a big responsibility because I grew up in a family where I think my father is narcissistic. I'm not, he has a lot of time because we grew up with fear. When he would come home, I would just wonder, listen to him speaking on the phone or whatever, and see if he seems happy or not happy. If he wasn't happy, we would stay in our bedroom. We would not come out. And we would hear his car coming, everyone will run to their bedroom. you know, until we know the coast is clear, meaning he's not upset about something or whatever. And this is how I just grew up in my teenage years. It just, it just, um, it was that emotional stress. Um, I wasn't living in, utmost luxury, but I wasn't poor as well. My father has some means, so we just, when I was teenager, we used to go to, um, Europe in the host families and stuff like that. So we were doing good, not so good right now because he lost his job and there's a lot of stuff going on. They're just pretty bad right now, but at the time, um, it wasn't there wasn't anything to say about the way I was living as a child. He would provide. Now I learned some stuff along the way, saying that there was some type of things that he was putting on my mom that was just that I learned afterwards. But at the time when I was a child, I was living in a big house. I had food on the tables, going to private school when I wanted to buy clothes and stuff like that. It just things were happening, and but the emotional side of it, I was stressed a lot of time because at some specific point there was domestic violence as well. I saw my mom just be subjected to that from my dad for at one point where she was thrown out of the house, and he asks not ask threatened us, my brother and me. No one was supposed to open the door to my mom, so I was just she was out, and I think she was bleeding a little bit, and she was out in the street, and we couldn't open the door, and it was those situation, and I was just like I said, there's a lot of things to unpack in my story, and I want to make clear, I suffer some abuse, but it was like I'm not saying it didn't affect me because obviously it did, but some of the abuse, and one of it I remember, and I was very young at primary school. I was probably 5 or 6, and I remember it very late in my 30s. I was going to have medical procedure, and I remember it, and that was a sexual abuse basically, but it wasn't in my family. It was from a teacher, and I remember it very late, and it came out of nowhere. I don't know why I repressed that, but it came out of nowhere. I'm just going to have a medical procedure, and nightmare started 1 month before the medical procedure. But that's for another day. So I grew up in. I gave you some clues because I just don't want to go into details. Maybe because I'm not ready to go into details. But I just gave you some clues of the way I grew up, and I think it shaped me when it comes to having a child. I was thinking about if I going to have a child, I don't want to repeat what I went through. I just want to be in a home when I'm with a partner that I just love and respect me. And when we go through that phase of bringing another soul, a divine consciousness here, we do it in a way where the child is going to feel good emotionally. You may not have all the, fancy toys or anything like that. I want abundance, I want wealth, but I want emotional stability. I want my child to be able to come to me and talk to me. I want us to be able to laugh, and I want that child to feel free in his own home. And that's not what I got. So for a long time, I said, if I don't find this, I'm not bringing any child here, you know. and I'm 43, and I haven't found that person yet, and that's okay, I mean, I think I'm going to regret if I don't have any child, and I think I want Alana to be here physically with me, um, because she seems like a such a nice girl. It's just a fun girl, and I just want the experience of having to raise her. But it's going to happen. It's not going to happen. I don't know. If you talk from a biological standpoint, time is probably running out. But nothing is impossible when it comes to, you know, our inner power, our divine power. And I believe if just, I already expressed that, and I wanted that true partner, and I want to be in a position where that child can say, "Yep, I want. I chose you as my mom, but this is time for me to come." You know, and I would deal with my fear of delivering a child eventually. I think it will help for me to meet someone who understands this, and make me laugh about it, and be there to support me when the laughter don't work anymore. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to share with you. If you don't have any child right now because you, like me, you waited, and you have people around you telling you, "Oh, you waited too long." At one point, I remember my mom telling me, and I was very disappointed of her telling me that before her illness took over. She told me, "You know what? Even if you don't find the right partner, you just, the moment you have your child, it doesn't matter even if you separate afterward." I'm like, "What? Oh, come on, mom, not you, not telling me this." She said, "You know what? The most important is to have your child." And I said, "Yeah, I know you want some grandchildren, but this is not like, buying some meat or buying a piece of bread. It's just not something you just, if you have a child, it's forever, you know? Make sure you know what you're doing." And I'm not doing that just because of pressure or whatever. And no, I'm not. You see, I'm not against having a child, but it needs to be. I'm in a position. Some women don't have that luxury to be in a position where they can choose because they're married young. I had that in my um my family and my extended family on my father's side. They would just marry young girls to old crooks and just be done with it. And she did, those girls will have children before they're even 20 or whatever. And this is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who have a choice. Some people don't have a choice on this planet when it comes to their marital status or having children or whatever. The society on this planet, they don't have choice. But when you do have a choice, when you are in a place where you have a choice, please do something with that choice. Do something with that choice, just for thinking about those women who don't have that choice. Do something with that choice and think about it. The children who coming on this planet right now, those are not empty vessels. Those are divine souls. Those are divine consciousness you're bringing. It's not just about you. It's about a child coming up as well. You need to think about that child first. And for most people, I think if they think about a child first, think about that divine consciousness they're going to bring in what experience. I'm not sure what percentage will continue to with their project or having children. Because most people want children because, oh, I want my legacy. I want someone who just possibly will take care of me in my old age if I cannot. I want an heir, or I want whatever the reason. Those are all about you. It's not about a child, you know? So my idea was always to say, if I'm bringing that child, I want that child to be great, better than I was. Okay, to be free in his own home, to be able to talk to his parent, to laugh with his parent, to love his parents, to oh, Okay. Um, I just said something that hit me hard right now. Okay. This is going to be tough, so I think I'm gonna stop the video here. I This is a healing moment, by the way. But um I I feel like a weight is whew, okay. You need to understand that those things I'm saying here are just messages for anyone that needs them, but sometimes they're for me as well. And this one was definitely for me. Okay, um, that's what I wanted to share with you when it comes to having a child or not. So maybe Alana is going to be in my experience um, in this life, or maybe not. And I hope I'm just gonna meet someone who is going to help me get for her the family experience I didn't get and that I want to experience. Or maybe I'm going to experience that for myself in my next life. I think I'm just gonna put that in my movie plot for the next one because I'm very envious of those of you who just live in a stress-free environment in your family and a loving environment. I don't say it because loving environment doesn't mean you don't have issues or you don't have problems or stuff like that, but you know you're close. There's love before anything else, and there's safety, and that's exactly what I want for myself. And Alana, if you come, okay, I'm having a hard time speaking right now because I'm basically crying. So I'm just gonna stop the video right there. Hopefully it was helpful for you. Sorry to end it this way, but there's some healing coming up. Okay, I knew there was a reason. I felt compelled to talk about that dream. Wow. Okay. Thank you for listening, and see you next time. Bye bye.